Hello. We're now in the last week of our general election campaign, and I believe that the profession of psychotherapy needs to be more visible and needs to be more accessible to the public. Now, I support the UKCP's demand that more funds be made available for mental health services, and you can read more about that in the link below. But it's said that psychotherapy is a discussion between two people in a room, and for 95% of my work, that's true. But sometimes I'm called upon to advocate for my clients, and I can do this in two ways. One way is individually, talking to a client's GP or psychiatrist about their medications, perhaps to their community mental health team about issues that arise, maybe to social services about housing, and maybe to other people as well. Occasionally, I'm asked to go to a court of law as an expert witness or as an actual witness, but that happens very rarely. What I want to talk about today are two issues, or two groups of clients who need our help and support. So before you go in and make up your mind on June the 8th, or before you fill in your postal vote, I'd like you to consider how we're caring for the most vulnerable in our society, and how we're caring for the vast majority of us. Come through, and I'll tell you what I mean. Last year, I wrote to the Prime Minister about a group of clients who were having particular issues last August. And I wrote to her and I said that because of their medical condition, they have ME, AIDS and other such long-term conditions, they were fearful of actually writing to the Prime Minister. They've been diagnosed with long-term conditions and they now find themselves dependent on a benefit system, I said, that seeks to cut them off unless they're able to prove how their diagnosed condition or illness prevents them from working. And they're asked to prove this again and again and again to systems that actually do not relate to the conditions that they've got. I said they were being treated as if they had committed a crime and must prove their innocence when no evidence of such a crime has been presented. What they need, I said, is not a black and white judgment on the truthfulness of their abilities within their conditions, but a stepped programme of support that helps them back into being productive, or as productive as their illnesses and conditions will allow. Finally, I said to her, a society judges itself about how it treats those most vulnerable and in need. And given my clients' experiences, I wrote, I have to question just what your full agenda and busy schedule is actually designed to achieve and for who. I asked her, who is everyone? And I got back from her the usual response, we're spending this money, we're spending that money. It didn't change my clients' experiences. So I'm here trying to advocate, trying to put their views into the public discussion because they're unable to do so. And so I continued, and I wrote again in November, again explaining the issues, but I said there are two main concerns. And this is true for anybody with a long-term mental illness or physical condition. What happens, I wrote, if they take up work and then their condition returns and they cannot work as much again? With all the changes, they do not believe, as my clients do not believe, that they will see the same level of support as they do now. They fear that if they go back into work and fail, if they set up their own businesses and fail, and then they reapply for benefits, they're likely to get less benefits next time. And given that they have been ill for some time, what employer is going to give them a job anyway and take the risk, the very likely risk, of them becoming ill again? So taking up work isn't there. And if they do take up work, what happens if the illnesses return again? I hope that you will take these people's lives and needs into consideration when you take your vote on June the 8th. That's the small group. And we could argue, well, it is a small group. And what of them? But there's a much larger group. And that larger group, I think, contains you or me. The Mental Health Foundation last month said there were 26 million people who had suffered from depression. There were 16 million people who suffered panic attacks, and there were 38 million people who experienced a mental health problem. And that's a large number, and it probably includes you at some time, perhaps your family, friends, your work colleagues. So the question is, how are we actually addressing the needs of those people? People who go to their GPs and are told there is a 6-month, 9-month, a year waiting list for any of the talking therapies. That's why I support the UKCP's demand that more money go into mental health services. But as you go into the voting booth on June the 9th, or you fill in your postal ballot, I hope you'll consider what it is that we want for a larger community and into the future. I hope that on June the 9th, we can all wake up feeling that we've made the place just that little bit better, just that little bit healthier for everyone.